Blood Groove by M.C. Neuffer. Chaos, confusion, and calamity are the engines of relativity. Ben Waters, circa 4312 CE. The sharp crack-crunch of fragile glass shards between my boot and concrete pierced the hollow silence of the still night, waking the dead. A jerk on my harness followed that gritchy sound, dragging me back around the corner of the alley, a split second before a spray of bullets filled the space I'd been occupying. A hot breath whispered warning passed by my ear. "You've got to be more careful. Come on. We've got to be gone before the militia investigates." Up? No. Left. And for God's sake, don't shuffle your feet. Heel toe. Heel toe. Let's go. And so, my father and I melded into the fabric of night, new cloth woven into old. After passing through the ruins into the desolation we called the gap, we rested, remaining vigilant, eating the small bits of food carried with us. I want you to take 3 lessons away from this. The first is, for the unwary, normal-looking surroundings can be warning traps. The glass was put there purposefully. The second is they're running low on manpower, relying increasingly on sensors and automatics. What's the third, Papa? He looked away and moved his right hand, placing his palm against his chest. Under his clothing, against his skin, he guarded the locket, holding the last remaining picture of his wife, my mother, his eyes locked on some faraway place I could never see. The third rule is to always have 2 exit routes other than the approach. Moving backward is deadly. I still have dreams of that night 20 years ago. My near death, my father and I on the run, searching for hope and trust. A way out. Luckily, the autoguns had been aimed and guided by sound, not body heat. At their adjusted height, meant to yield center mass impacts on an adult, my 8-year-old head would have been shredded by the subsonic impactor needles. Very few guns used high-velocity kinetics back then. The long-traveling crack of ammunition rounds passing through the sound barrier attracted the wrong sort of attention. Tonight, again in the gap, I'm surrounded by the slow, steady skick. Shick of steel against whetstones. There's no talking. Of what I possess, the cleanest thing I own is my knife. If you're naked and have a good knife, you can survive. When I was 5, my most prized possession was a ragdoll soldier my mother made. It remained a comfort, a treasure, long after one of the eyes had fallen off. I remember searching for days to find it. These are the thoughts that rattle and shake me before going out. I'll be fine once I stand to leave with my squad. Before a mission, we exercise personal rituals fallen into over the years. In the final minutes of preparation, we converge in a silent circle of communal edge-working before moving out. As far back as I can remember, my father told the old stories of how ties to Earth were severed by our forebears. Our planet's leaders, only 7 generations young at the time, sought to strike out on their own, seeking a path to a self-built golden future. They realized, too late, you can't cherry-pick the parts of humanity's proclivities you think are needed while tossing away the apparently useless, irritating, or detrimental ones. The junk. Human culture is an ecosystem developed, balanced, and rebalanced over tens of thousands of years. After you exterminate all the bothersome insects, creepy crawlers, and carrion eaters, you realize the need for their existence to maintain a healthy societal biome. With those removed, the remaining vacuum created havoc as it was chaotically and disastrously filled by the remaining maladjusted citizens. Tonight's raid is to rescue 3 of our own, recently captured at the boundary of our fiefdom. We have good leaders, good families, and talented artisans, but few are warriors. By need, our forays are sharp, rapid thrusts, with even faster retreats. My squad will provide cover on the right flank to prevent reinforcements from moving to the attack area. Our secondary purpose is to gather any portable tech and tools left unattended. The left flankers, blocks away, will be in a position to make off with seed stock from the opposition's storehouses. The pacing watchmen aren't there to raise alarm of raids. Their task this night, as every night, is to deter thieves living in their community. The more capable warriors of their clan and kin are further out at the edges, guarding approaches to their enclave, except the one we use. We are careful to avoid overuse of that route to prevent its discovery. Our path takes abandoned drainage tunnels, dug passages, and breakthroughs into now useless utility shafts, webbing up and outward, tying to points of former industrial and commercial centers. This is the same route my father led me through in echoing darkness and filth on the night of our escape. While 8 of our numbers guard the rear lanes leading to the strike force's objective, 4 of my squad will raid the nearby warehouse, holding recovered and cleaned elements from older times. With rucksacks half full of rags to wrap our treasure finds and blackened knives in hand, we creep closer. Nothing rattles. Nothing shines, heel toe, heel toe. My target is the watchman on the right-hand corner of the low brick building, furthest from the entrance. When you intend to cut a person's throat, you have 2 choices: the curved, razor-sharp edge or the opposing offset sawtooth along the blade's spine. I like the former. It allows me to quickly rip out the larynx, preventing warning grunts and cries by exposing and widening the airway. I've come to appreciate the effectiveness of the ratcheting effect my knife has on its quick ride across the thin, vulnerable ridges of soft flesh and cartilage. I keep the other option for times when my targets don't present their necks well. Then, it's the thin, sharp edge, a drag from knife heel to tip, followed by a rapid plunge, twist motion to sever something important, stifling any reactive sounds. You'd be surprised how loud a bloody breath gurgle is if you simply cut muscle and jugular, not to mention the spray and rapid accumulation of gushing, slippery blood. To avoid the body's natural leg jerking, it's best to pivot to the side as you make the cut, using leverage to lower the dying body to the ground. After that, it's a follow-up search between the ribs for a thrust to the heart. It's then I appreciate the blood groove on a well-made knife. At night, familiar natural sounds fall easy on the ear. In contrast, clicks, clanks, or whispers are needle stabs to the brain's attention center, activating the adrenal gland. A side effect is tunnel vision. Unfortunately for my target, she focused on the sound of a pebble landing on pavement 50 feet away, followed a few seconds later by another hitting the roof a bit closer, causing her head to rise, looking up. As I said, a well-presented neck makes the job easier. She's left-handed. I approach from the right, slightly behind, in near total darkness. Other than by size, texture, and weight in hand, it's not easy to determine what you grab in heists like these. Since this is an aside from the mission objective, anything we collect from the old days is a bonus. Even if we have no clue as to the purpose, if it fits in our sacks and doesn't make noise, we take it. 90 seconds from our entry, our exit uses a different path. Backing up is deadly. When we lose one of our own on a mission, we hold a silent memorial before crossing back into our land. It's a simple ceremony, one of shared pain. Squad circles form, each member facing outward, holding their knife in the right hand, left arm outstretched toward their mate on that side. The leader begins with a slow, blood-drawing drag of his blade across the forearm of the warrior next to him. And so it goes, silent wounds, around the circle until the leader has been marked. It's a reminder of the pain the lost one's family and friends will endure on our homecoming. I have 9 scars from dozens of previous missions. That, my dear child, is what I do, my place in our community. Now, turn off the light and go to sleep. Your class has evasion training tomorrow. You'll want to be well rested for that. Good night, Anna. Good night, Mommy.